Ever feel like your personality is like written all over you?
Like you wear it on your sleeve?
Literally. What if it was like right there on your palms?
Whoa, okay. Getting kind of mystical now.
Not really. We're diving into some research that says your hands could show if you're more introverted or extroverted.
Yeah, okay. I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
So first things first, personality 101.
Right. Got to start with the basics. You've heard of the Big Five personality model.
Yeah, like open to new stuff, how organized you are, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It breaks personality down into 5 big categories: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism.
And we're focusing on extroversion today.
Exactly. How outgoing and social you are.
So like party animal versus bookworm.
Yeah, you could say that. More like a spectrum, though, not just 2 boxes.
Right. So there's this 2014 study, right, from the Netherlands.
Yep. And get this, they didn't just look at hand size or shape, they went deeper.
Oh, really? What?
Proportions and lines in the hand. They called it a vertical approach.
A vertical approach. What's that all about?
Well, they looked at 6 specific hand factors.
That's 6. So like what kinds of things?
Like the ratio of your finger length to your palm width.
So like longer fingers, smaller palm, maybe means more introverted?
Maybe. That's one piece of the puzzle.
Okay, what else? What else?
Then they got into triradii.
Try what now?
Triradii. You see the major lines on your palms?
Yeah.
Where 3 of them intersect. That's a triradius.
Oh, like a crossroads on your hand.
Exactly.
Okay.
And by comparing distances between specific triradii, they found another potential indicator.
For extroversion.
Yeah.
So finger length, triradii.
Yeah.
That's just cool.
What else?
They also looked at something called a twin line.
A twin line. What's that?
So you know the headline, the one across the middle of your palm and the heart line above it. Sometimes there's the twin line running between those two.
Oh, okay.
And they found that introverts, according to this study, were more likely to have this twin line.
Okay, so wait, I gotta look at my hands now. Haha, I know, right? It's fascinating.
I don't see a twin line. Okay, so what else did they look at?
They looked at whether your headline was connected to your lifeline.
My lifeline, that's the one that curves around my thumb, right?
Yep, that's the one. And they factored that into their analysis.
So like connected versus not connected.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
interesting. What else?
They looked at the curve of the heart line.
Okay.
And whether there was a simian line. Have you heard of that?
No. What's a simian line?
It's where the heart line forms one single crease across the palm.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they really got into the nitty-gritty of those lines. Anything else?
One more thing. They looked at the hypothenar and the thenar.
Hypo what and the what now?
Hypothenar and the thenar. The fleshy pads under your pinky and thumb.
Oh, okay, I see those.
So they compared the outer edge of your hand to the inner edge.
So basically top to bottom, side to side, they looked at the whole thing.
Pretty much. And get this, they had a 95.8% success rate in telling introverts and extroverts apart.
No way. 95.8%.
Yeah.
From looking at hands.
Yeah. They developed this whole formula using those 6 factors.
So based on that, they could almost always tell who was who.
Yep. They published their findings in the Journal of Individual Differences. And they even made this concept chart.
Oh, wow. A chart.
Yeah. It shows how extroverts tend to have more prominent features on the ulnar side of the hand, that's the pinky side, and introverts more on the radial side, the thumb side.
So like extroverts have more going on over here.
Yeah.
And introverts have more going on over here.
I got it.
This is crazy. But wait, they only studied 48 people, right? Is that enough?
Good point. It's just one study. But it raises some really interesting questions.
Yeah, for sure.
And one more thing, they did control for differences between men and women.
Oh, that's important. So it's not about like guys just having bigger hands.
Nope, it's about proportions and features within the hand itself.
Okay. So have you looked at your own hands?
Yeah.
Where do you fall on the spectrum?
Well, let's just say I'm definitely intrigued by what I'm seeing.
Me too. And I bet our listeners are curious too. So everyone, take a second, look at your own hands, see if you can spot any of the features we've been talking about. We'll be right back after a quick break.
You know, it's kind of wild to think about all this hand analysis stuff and how it fits in with, like, the whole history of palm reading.
Yeah, it's always been kind of out there, right? Like fortune teller territory.
Exactly, but this research adds, like, a real scientific edge to it.
Yeah, totally. Like before, it was all kind of subjective.
Totally. We actually looked into some classic hand reading books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by authors like Arnold Holtzman, Johnny Fincham, Nathaniel Altman.
Okay.
And they were looking at things like hand texture, the mounts on your palm, the angle of your thumb.
Huh, interesting.
But their interpretations, while interesting, weren't really based on solid data like this Dutch study we've been talking about.
Right, so it was more like intuition.
Yeah, and experience. This study brings in a more data-driven approach.
So not that the old palm readers were wrong,
Right.
just different.
Exactly. Different approaches. And what's exciting is this study could be just the start. They focused on extroversion, but there's so much more to explore.
Like, could there be hand charts for all the big 5 traits?
It's possible more research is needed, but it's definitely worth exploring.
That's wild. Like, hand analysis for agreeableness, conscientiousness, even neuroticism.
Exactly. It makes you wonder what else we could learn about ourselves from our hands.
My mind is blown. The vertical trend, the possible connection to the index to ring finger ratio. It's also fascinating.
It really is. And something that really jumped out at me from the study was the emphasis on features towards the fingertips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were more important in their formula for distinguishing between introverts and extroverts.
So the top part of your hand might be more telling than the bottom.
Potentially. It's interesting, right? Maybe there's a developmental aspect to all of this.
Like, as our hands grow, maybe that reflects changes in our personality.
Exactly. It's not just about fixed traits. Maybe it's a dynamic relationship.
Whoa, that's pretty deep. What kind of implications could that have?
Imagine if therapists used hand analysis or employers for personality assessment.
Hand analysis required for all applicants. I can see it now, but seriously, the possibilities are huge.
They really are. And for all you listeners out there, this is a chance to do your own exploring. Check out your hands, compare them to those classic hand charts, maybe even read some of those hand reading books.
I love it. Turn this deep dive into your own personal exploration. And speaking of unlocking your mind, that's what we're all about here on Unlock Your Mind, taking you on these deep dives into the stuff that makes you think.
Exactly. And if you're loving this exploration of hand analysis, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes.
We've got so much more mind-bending stuff coming your way.
Oh yeah, stay tuned for sure.
But as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the biggest takeaway is that this research is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's really making us rethink how we see personality.
Like, what if our bodies hold way more clues about who we are than we ever thought?
It's a powerful reminder that we're not just minds walking around, Our bodies and minds are connected in ways we're only starting to understand.
Totally. So everyone listening, take a second, look at your hands.
Yeah, appreciate those amazing things.
And think about it. Maybe they are a window into your personality, your own little inner landscape right there on your palms.
It's a pretty wild thought, right?
It is. And that's what Unlock Your Mind is all about. Sparking your curiosity, making you question things, giving you something to chew on long after the episode's over.
Exactly. Keep those minds open.
And don't forget to keep those hands in mind. Thanks for joining us on Unlock Your Mind.